Hey everyone, welcome back to another video at the sawmill. Today I'm going to be going over my sawmill shed, kind of giving you a tour of my setup and the sawmill shed as it is right now, with the old main part as well as the addition. So here we go. So this is where it all began, with a concrete pad 13 feet by about 33 to 34 feet long, and I put post brackets on there and began to install posts. And then here's how I got the header for the main opening put in place. I had to kind of jimmy rig some things to do that, and I got my headers up. Then I put rafters on. And soon after I got the rafters all in place, I had my roofing crew that I work on, I had them come out and help me get the roof put on. And so that didn't take long. And then it was time to move in sawmill and begin production. And then eventually I got more of the siding put on. I put metal 3 feet up from the bottom. That way, water dripping down off the roof wouldn't splash up and rot out the boards. Next, I put board and batten siding on the rest of it. Here I'm just finishing up the battens on the back side. So far, I still haven't finished the battens on the rest of it, except for the west end, which I have now filled in. And eventually I built myself a log deck. And now we come to present year, 2023, where I built this addition off the front of the shed. Here you can see it's mostly done. I still have a few things to finish up on it. This is a super nice addition to the sawmill shed. Here is my latest version of the log deck. I had to rebuild it several times because I didn't build it strong enough. So this brings us to present day. So here's the main entrance where I drive the sawmill in and out if I'm pulling it out. This opening here is 13 feet wide approximately. I believe my concrete pad was 13 feet wide, and I finally got a sliding door built for this opening here, which is super nice. I haven't finished it yet, but that's a work in progress. And so this original part is about 13 feet tall to the bottom of the beams up there. I wouldn't have had to go quite that tall. I could have made the pitch of the roof a little bit flatter, and that would have been totally fine. But as it is, it's fine the way it is, and it works good for me. And one thing about this opening here is that I did have to make it tall enough to make sure I could pull the sawmill in and out. So I barely have any clearance up there though, so I should have made it a few inches taller, but it's alright. So as I come into the shed here, over here on my left, I've got a peg for storing blades and just random other things. And then off to my left here, I also have a shelf where I store some miscellaneous fluids and things like that. And obviously there's the sawdust. I've got a hook there for my shovel to shovel the sawdust out. And here's the sawmill. And I pretty much have it centered in the middle of the pad here. So I've got a decent amount of room on either side. Here I've got a little shelf where I can keep my phone, my water bottle, and here I've got a little spot where I like to keep my cant hook. And I've got a scraper and a wire brush just in case I get some dirt and stuff I want to clean off boards or logs. And then there's a nice little sign that my sister made for me, so that's cool. And I've got some random lumber stacked, some miscellaneous things I still need to sort through and stack in different piles. And on the opposite side of the mill, in front of the log deck, I've got some little 4x4s here, and as I'm milling lumber, it's coming off the mill, I like to stack boards that need to be edged. I like to stack those there. So I got a spot for that. And as you can see, it's pretty nice and open. It's could be a little bit bigger, but I was trying to not build it too expensive, so I just pretty much went the bare minimum size that I could. I've got a decent amount of room on the end here, and I've got one extra 4-foot extension on my mill, so it's about, I'm going to say it's about 24 feet length in total. And then my main opening here, I believe, is 21 or 22 feet. So I wanted to have a few feet of extra if I'm cutting a 16 or an 18-foot log. I wanted to have a few feet of extra on either side, so I achieved that. On this end, I've got some banding tools, my ramps, and some random tools and equipment, and some lumber stacked in here. There I've got the tongue hitch for towing the sawmill, and here I've got my jig that I made for flattening live edge slabs, and over here I put some boards along the wall there to for the sawdust to go up against, so that works really nice for me, and I like that pretty good. One thing I will say about the sawdust is having it on this side is that it's a little bit of a pain to get the sawdust out. I either have to come in right here with the tractor or in the end, and then I have to carry it out shovel by shovel. So that's a little bit of annoyance, but eventually I want to set up a conveyor belt that takes the sawdust out as I'm milling, takes it out the end here, and makes a pile out there. Alright, now on to the addition. So this is my addition that I built just recently, and I am loving it. You can't tell, I haven't finished it yet. I still have a few trims and some fascia, metal fascia that I'm going to put on the outside. But other than that, it's pretty much done, and I'm also probably going to be putting siding on the front of these two walls right here, just to keep extra protection from weather, especially over here where I'm stacking finished lumber that comes off the mill. Right now I still just got some temporary braces on there. Right here beside the log deck, I've got a little tray where I stack stickers, and that's really handy for when I'm stacking lumber over here. I can just grab stickers, set them on there, and keep stacking lumber on top of there. So that's really cool. With the addition here, I just tied it into the posts there and ran these headers out to the posts here, so it's all tied together pretty good. And I used some joist hangers up on the ridge pole, and got hurricane ties running up there to tie the rafters in good. Now this roof comes out about 12 feet, and I've got this driveway going past here, so if it wasn't for that, I probably would have gone another 2 feet further out, but the way it is, I like it pretty good. But I still do get rain and snow blowing in here because it's so tall, but hopefully when I get siding on the ends there, it'll be better for that. But this addition is definitely an awesome addition to the shed. It helps a lot keeping the weather off the sawmill, so that's a huge bonus. And here's my log deck. If you guys haven't seen the video on my log deck, go check that out right up here. I've got a playlist with several videos on the log deck build, and I really love this log deck. It's not the most ideal, but it's kind of a good temporary solution for now, and it's something that I use basically every day. Super handy. It's pretty solid. I made it out of mostly oak, so I really like my log deck. That's an awesome feature that I have here in the Sawmill Shed. Coming over here on this end, I've got a few places where I stack slabs. It is a little bit of a walk to come all the way out here and bring slabs out here, so I'm thinking about building a tray here for 8-foot slabs, and then I have something further out there for the longer stuff like this that's longer than 8 foot, because this opening here is 10 foot, I believe, to the outside of the post. So other cool thing about this area right here is I can park the tractor in here, so I don't always have to be running it all the way up there to the storage shed and back. I can just come here, tractor will be here, I don't have to do as much running back and forth, so that's really awesome. Last but not least, right over here off the front end of my shed, I've got my sharpening shed, which is built but not completed. So I still have to finish this thing out and insulate it, get it all set up, get my sharpening equipment set up in here. But for now, I've just got it pretty much roughed in, got the outside pretty much done. Oh, there's actually snow on those skylights, but still lets light in, so that's really cool. One thing about these skylights is I did notice, I get a lot of wind from the west, and I did notice there was a little bit of snow that blows in sometimes through the skylights there, but it's not too bad, so I'm gonna have to take those and do some caulking at some point, I guess. So that's my sharpening shed, and hopefully I'll be doing some videos on finishing the inside of this out and getting it set up for sharpening blades and all that. So stay tuned for that. This shed is a 12 by 16, and I've got 8-foot walls and about a 612 pitch on the roof. So there's that. Still have some work to do on that. I made that about as tall as I could. It still allows it to be portable, and so I can have a mini barn mover come in and pick this thing up on a trailer and move it. And so I've got a series of videos on that shed build, so if you guys haven't seen those, go back to my channel and check those out. Hopefully you'll learn something there. So alright, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you found this entertaining or educational, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comments, or any video ideas or anything else you'd like to see about the Sawmill Shed. So anyways, until next time, guys, I'm out.